councils to consider it and to, you guys have to fix that street. Everybody needs the water. You can't prolong it and, oh, you can't do it, this person can do it, and the other one can't. You know, we're all citizens, and this area has been added to the city, I don't know how many years ago, 10, 15? You guys got the money from, you guys get money for all this. That area should have been fixed. It's something that we all just ask for, what any citizen would ask for. We're not asking for anything outrageous, anything, you know. It's upsetting that we have to come to do this every time we need to get anything done. You know, it takes up time from our work, our family. We shouldn't be doing this every time we need something. It should be a process for everyone, the same process. How come one person gets it done with no struggle and the other one doesn't?
Okay, Mr. Thank you very much. City Secretary?
I believe the last one is Melinda Rawson.
I thought it was just a sign that she,
Oh, okay.
I just came to hear the vote.
Okay.
Anything? You got 3 minutes if you want it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What else, City Secretary?
That is it, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, citizens. Appreciate you coming and letting your voice be heard. At this time, we have the mayor's message. A couple of things. City Council, we're going to be scheduling a workshop soon, so be looking for a text from me as we move into the budget season. Our department heads have already started working on those, so that's imperative that you get me. Most of you have your list of things that you want to achieve, but be prepared for that because we need to schedule one pretty soon, so clear up your calendars for that. One of the things that I wanted to do, we'll have it a little bit more specific on the following agendas, is at the beginning of our meetings, have our department heads come and make presentations of what's going on, so you're better versed on things, particularly in the city that's happening. I'm gonna have these folks come up and give just a brief little update on what's happening in their department. I'm gonna ask our police chief to come, our municipal judge to come, who else do I've got, our finance director, and public works. So, Chief, you want to come up? I think there's a handout. And just a quick overview is we've had these typically at the end of the meeting where, you know, after a long meeting, it's really hard to focus sometimes on what these is and what these folks are doing is so critical and important to our community. So we want to move that to the front. So, Chief, you're up.
Go. Gonna go over the numbers quickly. Our numbers in May, we had a total of 67 offenses. Offenses are gonna deal basically with anything that is a crime, non-traffic related. If you're looking at where it says non-duplicated offenses, that's indicating the amount of calls where an offense took place. So out of those 67, that's out of 51 incidents. So some of those incidents had more than one offense committed. 23 arrests, 169 incident reports, 60 citations, 240 warnings. That's a total of 220 calls taken as far as reports taken, I'm sorry. Where a report was made, that's both incident and offense, a total of 300 even on traffic warnings and citations. Right now, we're having an issue with our reporting system for security checks, so we're unable to print out the slips. We're in contact with CopSync, which is the reporting system we utilize to get that corrected, but we still haven't been able to get that taken care of. Last month, for the month of April, and I'd like to just compare them, just to show you all. So last month, we had a total of 76 offenses, and the non-duplicated were 57. So we have gone down slightly on that, at least of what's been reported, or my officers have come across. That's a total of 309, if you include the 176 incident reports that we took last month in April, correction, in April. The arrests were also the same in April, 23. there were 56 citations and 223 warnings in April. Right now, the police department, as far as staff, we have 4 vacancies, 2 patrol positions, 1 corporal investigator, and 1 sergeant investigator. We're currently working right now to have 1 more, this corporal investigator spot filled. We're believing it'll be filled by next week. We'll be testing very soon for the sergeant investigator position. And I was just advised, prior to getting here right now, that we should have a good applicant coming in on Friday possibly for a patrol position. So that's where we're at right now with our staff numbers. And lastly, what I'd like to mention, with our canine program that we have 2 dogs at the police department. Both of those dogs, they're at the very end of their service life, what you can call it. 1 dog has been here at least since 2014, 2015. I would say 2015 if I had to take a guess. That's Xena. That's canine Xena. She's already at the end of her usable service life, and we would like to consider retired. The other canine dog that we have is named Diesel, and he's at 6 or 7 years old right now, from what I've been told. He's on the edge of getting to the point where his service life is almost at the end. Right now, what I'd like to do with the department, I'd like to focus more on the patrolmen, since we do have a group of younger, I wouldn't call them inexperienced, but they definitely, they're young in their careers, and they have a lot to learn. Right now, there's no real interest within my department for the canine. There's no interest for anybody to be a canine handler. It's a lot of responsibility, and the majority of my officers are coming from out of town. What I'd like to do right now, I'd like to basically put the canine program on hold and revisit it at a later time when we're better staffed and there's more experience within the ranks. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. Mayor,
Go ahead, Councilman Dale.
Sir.
so the citations and the warnings, that's, what is that, traffic stops, or what is that, or just? in
Yes,
general?
that's traffic stops. That's gonna involve traffic stops or anything where I'm gonna have to get back to you as far as if it's gonna, I'm not sure if it involves anything as far as Class B misdemeanors, like a field release for possession of marijuana, things like that. But it's definitely it's basically gonna be the majority, if I'd say basically all of it is gonna be traffic stops.
So out of 300 citations and warnings, only 80% were actually citations? Oh, 80% were warnings.
Okay, for the month of May?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's gonna be the officer discretion, the officer that did the traffic stop. As to why a warning or citation was issued.
Any other questions?
Questions?
Any other questions, Councilwoman Torino?
So like the warnings,
Yes, ma'am.
do you, is there any kind of a program or anything that shows up, like that the person has already gotten a warning?
Yes. The system we utilize, CopSync,
Mm-hmm.
it keeps track of all it documents every interaction we've had where it's been entered with a person or with a vehicle. So when we run a license plate, we can click on the tab and it'll tell us every time that license plate has been ran, either by us, the county, or any other agency that utilizes CopSync. Same thing with a person, when we run a driver's license, we'll know if they've been stopped, what they've been stopped driving, what the violation was, if they got a warning, if they got a citation. And that comes into consideration when we're thinking about giving a citation or a warning. At least that's my experience when I was on patrol.
Okay, how many officers did you say you have?
Right now, we have a total of 14, because we're currently
I mean,
down 4.
4 vacancies?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, I know that you're putting the dog thing, the canine on hold. I mean, are they really that helpful?
They are helpful, but they're a very specialized tool, and it's not something that's utilized nonstop, or I would say it's utilized on every traffic stop. Because for the dog to be utilized, first we want the officers to ask for consent to search a vehicle. And at that point, the consent's not given, then that's when we utilize the dog. If a person gives consent for us to search, then there's no reason why we should need a dog to alert, to give us consent to search. Because that's the whole purpose of the dog, to give us probable cause of search.
Anything else, council?
I got one question.
One more
Have we
question?
thought about maybe hiring someone with experience on dog handling?
We have considered it, we just, as far as applicants go for patrol, we haven't had anybody with any canine experience apply. Not a considerable amount. We do have officers that have prior canine experience, but right now, at this time, they don't have any interest due to family, or I'm not sure what other obligations they may have.
Councilman Trujillo?
Mr. Flores, what tool do you guys, what do we use as far as resources to put out these positions out in the market? What are we using?
Right now, I don't know the charts here, but we basically look, I know we use our website, I believe they use is it a newspaper as well?
Facebook.
You guys posted also on.
We have TML,
TML.
TML, we also have TML,
Do you use anything else, any other engines?
Our social media.
our social media,
Um,
and the chief is the one that pushes out also positions in other, police entities, where the academy, and we speak to the academy to see when they're set up to be able to bring in people. It's just been really difficult with the hiring process, shortage, not only in our city, but it's everywhere.
On that note, if I could just follow up on that question.
Have we considered branching out to, workshops or job fairs, anything, go ahead and yourself?
We're gonna go to an academy. We have 2 officers that are gonna be going to San Antonio College, this academy's graduation. The issue with that, and I'm not gonna consider it an issue, but it's something that definitely has to be considered, is when you go to an academy, you're getting a fresh graduate, almost 99% of the time. That means you have to mold that person to being an officer here in Pearsall. Because even if we get an applicant that was SAPD or any other place, they were SAPD, they weren't Pearsall PD. They don't know the way the Pearsall people, what they expect, what they need, the way the agency works, and the way the city works. It's definitely, I'm sorry.
Again, Councilor, if you guys wanna have specific questions on that, we'd like to set up a meeting with council members individually if y'all like, because we could be here till 8 or 9 o'clock at night to, so, again, on that end.
We do want to bring it to the front, but we want to kind of keep it brief. We want you guys to hear what's happening, so just big picture ticket talks, and then we'll bring it back on lower level. Anything else, Chief?
No, sir, I've covered it.
Okay, thank you very much. Utility Director?
Sure.
Good evening, council. I'll keep this short. The majority of mine is mainly, the majority it's gonna be, I'm not gonna sit there and go through all these water leaks and gas leaks and all that good stuff. Mine's routine maintenance. There is a couple things I would like to address here. The gas department, they held their first training class here for the year. They usually do maybe 1 or 2, but they held their first one here at the Civic Center, and the review from it was very, very well. So I think it was an A+. They scored an A+ on the hosting of the meeting and the carry out of the meeting. So it was, and that credit goes to Rudy and Yomeda for setting that up. And then that happened. And when did that happen? This past month, right? Yeah, just past month. Other than that, the rest is all routine maintenance. Our hydrant flushing, I think we're done for the year. Maybe we might squeeze another one in there, but for now, we're done. What else? One thing that's not on here that I would like to address, if I may, within the department, we've taken upon ourselves to kind of try to loop the systems. We have too many dead-end mains, so we're trying to get the smaller system, the smaller units, and loop them. So far, we've done, I think we have like maybe eight different areas of town that benefit from a looping. So we're on 3 now. We've done 2 so far, and we're on 3. So that's something that didn't make the report. I guess I forgot to put it in. But aside from that, I think we're everything else is routine gas leaks. I can hear all day on water leaks. That's every day, all day, every day. So if you have any questions.
Staffing, how's your staffing?
It's good right now. We're down a couple, but I think we're good for the majority, for the most part now. Everybody's back. I've had some guys that were out for whatever reason, and the majority of them are back already. So we're back on track. So we're good on staff. Any questions?
Councilman Leal?
With the railroad commission, are we still in that program where we gotta replace so many feet of gas line?
I believe it's 8%, correct, of every year for the railroad commission. I believe, yeah, we're still under all
We're still on
that,
track.
but it depends how you define it too. You talk about replacement, and I think it's 8% total of the entire system, not necessarily 8% of the miles of lines that you have. It could be a facility, of infrastructure, or a valve or a meter or whatever. It incorporates everything, not just 8% of line. Everybody thinks it's 8% of line, but it's not. Yeah, we're still under that, and I believe I think we're there, right?
Yeah.
I think we're there. I think we met the 8%.
How about with TCQ, we're up to standard with them?
Well, I mean, that's hit and miss. I mean, TCQ will find something.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so for the moment, we're good. Our inspections ain't due till either the end of the year or the beginning of next year. It's every 3 years for us, so we're doing good. Last year, we scored really well on the water side, or the last inspection, I should say, which was like 2 years ago. The wastewater did really good too. I believe the gas, we just had one on the gas perform, one of many. The gas, TGA, I guess, is the entity. We scored a 92 on that one.
You wanna let them know about the water wells and the work that's gonna be done on the water wells and the gas project?
Student McGuire?
Yes, sir, and how many wells are the current status of the wells?
Okay, the East Comal is up and running. That was complete. And as is the Cherry plant. The Cherry plant still has one more stage of back teeth to qualify for. And I believe we'll be done with that one next week. So that will be up and running. And it'll be running at 50% because we're gonna isolate one of those storage containers. We're gonna isolate it due to McGuire Iron is coming on.
Contractors coming.
Yeah, on the 15th, I believe, is the date. They're coming and they're gonna work on the steel tank, on the older tank. They're gonna replace the roof on it. And in the winter time, this coming winter, we're gonna shut down the Colorado plant. Cause we're gonna bypass the Colorado plant to do work on the elevated storage tank. So there's some job, some stuff coming. You mentioned the gas.
Yeah, the gas project, council remembers the system hopefully, we intend, there won't be an interruption, but we will have an item on the agenda in July, for, compressed gas, to purchase compressed gas for, distribution of gas to whoever has gas, because I think they're testing the line, the West Texas Gas is testing the line, and so we'll be paying for, distribution of compressed gas. We have an estimate, I think the estimate is, I think it's gonna be more than what the estimate is, as far as what we're gonna have to pay. But that'll be coming to you, and item in July, so.
All right, thank you, Public Works Director, I appreciate it. Mr. Judge?
Good evening. Mr. Court Judge, good evening. Y'all want the short version or the long version? All right, I'll give you a heads up.
But the informative.
Okay, so basically, we're doing 2 open court dates, a month. We're trying to have 1 truancy date. Of course, if the laws change September of this year, we might be looking at 2 truancy court dates a month, because of the changes in law. But we still gotta wait on that.